So I invite you to close your eyes and to put your kavanah, your intention, in the breath. Paying attention to the breath because the breath is always there. Is a trusted anchor where we can come back again and again. Is the place where we come back again and again to pause. The breath happens always. So by paying attention to our breathing, we're paying attention to our life. To the awesome power of being alive, of breathing, of bringing oxygen into our lungs. And to allow the lungs to spread it all over the body. What a miracle. So I invite you to use the breathing as the trusted anchor when your mind wanders. Because the mind is going to resist, it's going to be wandering around. Some of us are more rebellious than others. Some of us, the mind is going to say, you want me to pay attention to the breathing? I'm going to pay attention to something else. Whatever it is, bring it back to the breath. And notice the rest. Notice the thoughts. Notice the feelings. Notice the narratives, the patterns. We have so much information when we notice. We keep coming back to the breath. Because in the exercise of coming back to the breath, we stretch the space in between. The space between thought and reaction, and feeling and reaction. What in Hebrew is called Bein Hashmashot, the twilight zone, the space in between the sun and the moon. The space of Dumia, of silence, where the soul resides. Because the soul is begging for silence. The soul wants to be seen, wants to be heard in the midst of so much noise. So we create silence to be listening to the Kol Mamadaka, to the still small voice of that soul, to show up, God willing, with grace. So let's keep coming back to the breath as the first stage of this meditation. I'll be in silence for 1 more minute. You keep doing that. You notice what is not the breath, and you keep coming back to the breath. Let's be in silence for 1 more minute. I invite you now to visualize yourself meditating in a place of total safety and security. Could be the same place where you are at. It's okay. Could be a place in nature. Could be anywhere. Remember, we have our imagination. There's an incredible tool. So visualize yourself meditating in that place that conveys total safety and security. Because when we are in that place of total safety and security, whatever we are going to see is something that we were ready to see. That our souls kind of were craving for. So visualize yourself meditating, paying attention to your breath in that place of total safety and security for one more minute in silence. I invite you to visualize now a place, could be the same place, but we're going to pay attention more to the details of that place. A place that brings you calm. Oh my God, so much calm. You can sense your muscles relaxing. You can sense your heartbeat going slower, slowing down. In your imagination, look at that place and look at the details. What is about that place that calms you down? Is the location? Is the light? The moment of the day? The breeze? Whatever it is. What is about that place that brings you calm? What is it that you're seeing that when you visualize yourself there, immediately you relax? And your neshama, your soul says, I'm okay. I am calm here. Look at the details. Imagine that you could describe this place. As if you could take a picture with your soul. Be there. Be in the details. And if there are details that stand up and you feel, oh wow, I never saw that before. I'm seeing that now. Perfect. Zoom in to any detail of that place that brings you calm. And if you don't see anything, maybe there is a switch there that you can turn on the light. We can use anything with our imagination. Pay attention to if there is any specific detail that calms you down. Pay attention to it. Be with it in silence for one more minute. And I want to give a time to honor our memory of loved ones who are not longer with us, who have died. To recall a memory of a loved one from the past, but it's a memory not only of the person, but a moment that brought you so much calm. That moment, something simple, very simple. But when you recall that moment with that person who is dead, but lives inside of you, the memory of that moment with that person calms you down. It brings you calm, brings you warmth. It's an embrace, a hug from the soul. Be there for that moment with the loved one whose spirit lives inside of you. Recall that moment that brought you so much calm. That day, I could bring you calm at any moment when you remember. Allow yourself to be in that moment with the loved one that is no longer alive, but lives in the spirit inside of you. Say thank you to your loved one. You can call him, her at any time to calm you down. Now I invite you to visualize a music that calms you down. You're meditating with your eyes closed, listening to that music. What music is that one? Could be real music, could be the music of the ocean, of the birds, but it's sound. Allow yourself to be bathed by that sound that calms you down, that lives inside of you, that you can recall it at any time. Just be with that sound, that music. That is a drop of calm. I invite you now to visualize an experience. An experience when you see yourself doing that. It's a drop of calm for you. Don't judge it. Could be cooking, could be anything. Swimming, walking. But it's an experience. It's a sensorial experience that you know when you do that, it's a drop of calm. It's a tipat shalom. It's a drop of peace. So what is that experience for you? Allow it to show up in your consciousness because it's at your hand. Now I invite you to visualize a place in your body that could become the pause button. That when you know that you're agitated and you are going to overreact, or you're going to react in a place, in a form that you don't feel is helpful, you touch yourself there and reminds you that the pause button is helpful. Reminds you and says your name. Like in my case, would say, Marcelo, I think you should pause. And pausing doesn't mean not to act. It means not to react. To pause, to choose how to show up. To pause, to act from wisdom and not emotion. To be smart, to be coherent, to choose, to pay attention to your intention in the action that is coming. To pay attention to the intention is huge. What is my intention in the action that I'm about to take? Tremendous question. For the sake of that question, we need to pause. So I invite you to visualize a place in your body, could be your fingers, and to do a trick that becomes your pause button. And when you feel that you're about to operate from reactivity, you touch there and says, oops, oops, I can pause now. And to choose to act and not to react. Just visualize that place in your body that you could choose to remind yourself the power of pausing. Allow yourself to be creative. What part of your body could be the pause button? Choose one that works for you. That is a reminder. That is an invitation to pause for the sake of choosing and paying attention to your intention. Be there for 1 more minute in silence, choosing that place in your body. Now I invite you to come back to your breath as we started, breathing in, breathing out. You know exactly where you are. You know that we are on the other side of the screen. You know that we are in the drops of calm moment. I invite you to visualize with your eyes closed exactly what you can visualize with your eyes open, as if you have X-rays. You can see to the left, to the right, to the front. You're in deep and profound contact with reality with your eyes closed. You can feel your feet, your hands. And at your own pace, you will open your eyes to be back, to be here, to be now. As Karina is stretching, we can all stretch. You need to yawn, yawn, yawn. You need to do like this, tapping. Drops of calm. We have access to them. And these drops are part of maybe these sparks. The sparks of the divine, the divine, the Nitzot Hashem. And we need all this. We need the sparks, we need the drops in all our stories.